So it can help me react. You can use an emoji sign or a thumbs up if you have installed Power BI on your PC. Can you use an emoji? Either a thumbs up. I think thumbs up is best. I've just seen 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, brilliant. Okay. Most of us, we have it. Fine. Thank you. Okay, so today is just an overview of what the Power BI is and what it offers, and then how to import data. Like the name Power, Microsoft is a beautiful company, beautiful organization with lots of power. And I know that they have many powers that they've not used. So this is one of the powers some of us want to use now, Power BI. There are some other powers like Power Apps. There are some other powers, Power Virtual Agent. I think it has a new name now. There is Power Automate for automations. So they're all under the Power family. And that's because Microsoft does powerful things. Now, Microsoft also has Excel. You get just that there are some limitations with Excel. If you have a data with a row of, I think 1,000, a million and 100, for instance, a million and 100 rows. If you have over 1,048 rows thereabouts, you won't be able to carry out any analysis using Excel. And in fact, by the time it reaches 1 million, your Excel will be crashing back to back. So that's why Microsoft now brought another power so that we can use the power now. Power, what is BI? Business intelligence. So it gives you the flexibility of working with several rows and columns of data more than what Excel offers, you get. And then it's beautiful to know Excel and then want to advance to now know what this wonderful tool does for us. Okay, like I said, it's in a family of the Power Platform. There is Power App application, APPS, is used for building customized applications, in-house application. Let's say a company is into, they have a warehouse, they're into, they manage goods, so they want to do inventory and all that. So instead of them going to build an app that can be on Android, because it is internal, it is just for them, they'll customize it only for their business. So nobody outside will be able to use it apart from those in their business, in the company. And then it's given to not even everyone. It's given to specific people, a group of people that use that application, and they sign in with their business names. Like those that are already working in an organization, if you're working in a company and they use maybe the Microsoft platform, they should be able to have, let's say you work in a company called Grace. So you should be able to have amarachi.grace.com. Grace should be the domain and all that. So my Power Apps helps you to build customized applications. Then we have Power Automate, just as the name is, automation. It helps you to automate processes. Some of us have filled online forms, just as we filled this form for this application, and even job applications and several applications, maybe conferences and all that. And you will see immediately you submit your form, you receive an email automatically congratulating you for submitting or letting you know that they received your mail. There are some automations behind. So there are a lot of things that one can do with those automation. I just gave us the simplest form of it, which is like when you're filling form or you're applying for a job. Then they have the virtual agents. Virtual agents are like chat bots. You can build, like someone comes to your maybe your website. You can even integrate your website that someone can chat. You know, when you go to a website, you see some maybe sometimes they put it a human face and they'll tell you they're available 24/7 to chat with you. So that is what a Power Virtual Agent does to you. So it makes use of natural language processing and all that to interact with people. Then they have Power Pages. That one is for websites. So, and all these things, they interconnect among themselves. They interrelate among themselves. So in the course of this program, you are going to carry out a project. You are going to be grouped. We said it in the orientation. And while you are learning this course, as the course goes on, you should begin to think how you are going to apply what you are going to learn to solve problem, not just within you, but among your mates. So there may be need to build an application, maybe those in Power Apps class, they may have a need to build an application. And then you as a data person, there'll be need that this application, of course, there'll be data in it. People will fill in information. There'll be need to now build reports or build dashboard, as the case may be, so that once someone opens the application, the person should know where things are. There are some things we call KPI. So by the time you go deeper into your course, that's why you're not introducing it today, and we didn't introduce it yesterday, last Saturday. We want you to have a little balance before we begin to tell you all these things. So now all these applications in the Power Platform, they work hand in hand together. They integrate among and within themselves. So welcome to Power BI. What we're going to do today is we are going to just talk about Power BI desktop specifically. Now, for Power BI has three main, like I call it, they offer three main, do I use the word category, or do I use the word services? No, not services per se, but Power BI has desktop version. Okay, let me say they have three versions. I think that one will relate better with us, or they offer three versions, for instance. Now we have Power BI desktop, just as the name is, Power BI desktop. So it is the one you download. It is the one you download. And
hey, Amarachi, please unmute yourself. I think
I
someone
have
muted everybody. Okay.
Yes, I just did. Thank you. So we have the desktop application, which we just downloaded and installed in our PC. Now we have another one called the service. Now the service is, if you check my desktop up here, I think my screen is moving. Yeah, it's showing. You see sign in. You see sign in. If I sign in here, I should have an account to be able to sign in. Now, I don't know if it's still operational in Nigeria, but there is what we call developer accounts, Microsoft developer accounts. What this developer accounts does is you register it on Microsoft. There are processes to register it. Now it gives you, let's say, a platform to be a developer. Now, remember I mentioned the Power Platform. So when you now have this account, so if you want to create application on Power Apps, it will help you to do that. You can use your account and create it and demonstrate the things you have created or you've built, and everybody anywhere will be able to see it just within you. So if there is a Power BI service, and that service is the one that you can now share to people. If I do any analysis or build any report or any dashboard on this Power BI, I won't be able to share it with anyone, except I just share it as a file, just as you send your Microsoft file, you get. But there is a way you can share it as a link, so that anybody anywhere in the world will be able to see that. I think I have one of the applications, one of the analysis I built that I just opened. This is a link. If I just copy this link and paste in another tab, it will open. Why? Because when I built this report, I built it on Power BI desktop and I published it on the Power BI service. So it's not what any of us can do with our normal Gmail or email. It's not what we can do with our normal Gmail or email. We would need a developer account for us to be able to do that. Now, if you don't have a developer account, maybe you already work in an organization that uses the Microsoft, there's what they call tenants, and you work with Power BI in your office, they'll be able, or they should be able to give you a login details or credential that when you sign in, you'll be able to have access to Power BI service. Now, the benefit of it, or apart from the fact that you want anyone to be able to see that link, let's say you are 2, 3, or 4 working on a particular report, maybe teammates, just as we know that people work remotely these days. and then you did something, and then you want your colleague to also go in, see what you did, and look at maybe the data you and all that you get. You publish your reports or your dashboard, as the case may be, to the Power BI service. So you work from your desktop, you can save, and then you work and you upload to service. But I think for the service, if you are building, if you build on the service, I don't think you should be you'll be able to download back to desktop. I can't really tell. I think I had an issue one time, but I can't categorically now pinpoint that. But as you learn along, you get to understand these things better. And now there's another one, mobile. Of course, because most people spend much time on mobile than on PC. So even your Power BI reports, if you are building, you can also customize it for mobile applications, so that anybody, if you check your phone right now and go to maybe Play Store on your phone or Android Store, what to do. So now for this class, we'll be using the Power BI desktop. That is why we went ahead to share it with us, so that we'll be able to use it. If you look at the desktop as it's showing now, I don't think there is anything strange per se, because if you're using Microsoft Word or Microsoft Excel, even Microsoft PowerPoint, you will be able to recognize these ribbons, these tabs, these families. Not like you know what they are actually, but you know that whenever you open an application and you see something like this, it means that every family has something it's going to do for us. So the very first family is your file. Now this is where, from the device I wanted to use, my work device, I have lots of Power BI because I work on them, but for some reason I could not connect with it. So this particular one, I don't really have much, or in fact, I don't think I have any Power BI. I built anything here. I think I just installed it last week. So just as the way you deal with your Microsoft Office, your file can come to file. What do you want to do? It takes you home. Home is you want to open a report. Because I don't have any other report, if I just click on this blank, I don't know how it shows on your own, but if I click on this report, it's going to open up a blank report for me, which I told, because I've not saved it, I've not given it a name. So that is for your opening. Then if you want to save, like I said, you can save as too. If you want to share, let me see, sometimes when you finish doing your report or finish working, you may want to convert it to an image. So if I'm going to share with someone, if I'm going to share this with someone, I also need my Power BI service. It has already prompted it, and that's because I'm not signed in. If I'm signed in, if I just enter sign in, it will just, my name or my organization name will just be showing here. Currently, I'm even joining with DSN logins. Now, it is telling me that Power BI desktop and Power BI service, they work better together as you sign in to enhance my collaboration and access organizational content. So that's why I said, as an individual, you have your own developer account. But where you work for an organization, your organization login details is what will be given to you. So anything you do on your Power BI desktop, immediately you publish, it goes to your service. It just goes there, just like I call it a backup. You can also save on your device. Then sometimes if you want to import data, content from an existing one, I don't have an existing one, so I will let that go. If you want to export, let's say you finish building something and want to export sometimes to PDF, when you start building, when we give you data sets and we are working on project and all that, you'll be so excited that you would want to share what you've done, or maybe you want to send it to the Discord and all that. Sometimes some people do screenshotting. Some people, instead of screenshotting, they convert the entire Power BI to PDF. And then when it's saved as PDF, they can also convert PDF to images, and then they will send the images. So you can also make use of that option. Please respond, I beg you. Okay, I think we are through with file. Home. Please, if you are following, I want you to use an emoji. If you are following, I need your strong emoji. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Okay, now home, we are here. We are in our house. I think because I'm opening a second one, it's not responding. Please respond. Don't do this now. Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's go back. All right, thank you. Now we are home. Just as we are, I think we are not alien to this symbol. Paste. You can copy a visual and paste it. When we have some data sets, we'll be able to practice that. So on this clipboard family, the normal way we do cut, copy, and paste, we can use it. But format painter is a little different. Probably by the time you get into your third week or fourth week, where you'll be dealing with interactions, you'll be able to do that when you start building some graphics. Now we have insert. The insert family, want to insert a new page, new visuals under the visual families. These ones are AI visuals. You will appreciate these things when you already have data sets already. So this is key influencer. It's kind of tells you what influences others. Explaining this thing now won't really help us. It is data that will do the explanation. All these AI visuals, both the composition tree and narratives. Then, like I told us that we have the Power Platform, and they all integrate among themselves. They connect among themselves. So we have what is called Power BI Reports Builder. Someone can just build the report that anybody that just with a link joins, maybe anybody in that organization can just with a click, when the person opens that builder, the person will see the charts that have been built. The person will just see what is happening there, and the person can decide to download the data to maybe really dig in. So this one's connected to Power Apps and Power Automate, how you can use your buttons to trigger them. So the sweet thing is that is once you just hover onto any of them, you have an understanding of what they do. So it's not rocket science. This one text box normal. If you just click it, it just help you to maybe write something. Yeah, I just clicked it and it's here already. So it can expand, it can reduce, it can delete and all that. So all these elements, we use them much later when we start building. You have buttons that will connect you from one page to another, shapes, rectangle, triangle, images, you want to add an image and all that. So it gets sweeter as we begin to work with them. You know, sometimes technology can be tensed. So I think I'm putting too much, I'm unleashing too much power on my device. So it's crawling a bit. Okay, let's go to the modeling session. Now, the ones that are not highlighted is because we currently do not have, let's say, data to use them. So it will be doing small shakara for us. Under the calculation family, there are times that you may need to measure something. Let me explain. You have a data set that comprises of, let's say, quantity and then cost price, something like that. And then you want to find the total revenue that the organization got at that particular point in time, for instance, using a sales data. So you know that, okay, they sold pencil for 20 naira, and one pencil is 20 naira, but they sold 20. So you know that you're going to multiply 20 naira by 20 pieces to know how much was the revenue, something like that. Now, the data you are given does not have that column of multiplication. So when we get to Power Query, you will see how that works. So that's why it is not highlighting for us. So you should be able to create measures. You should be able to create measures. You should be able to create both quick one and new one. Someone is where. You should be able to create new table, and that table you write an expression, which means that 20 times 20, that cost, the unit cost, that is 20, and that the number of objects quantity 20. You should be able to write an expression just like mathematics, 20 times 20, but there's a way it is written in Power BI with a language called M. So it is called DAX, DAX, data analytic expression. Then new parameter and all that. These ones, when you begin to go deeper. Now view is in, when you use Microsoft products, and not just Microsoft products, other products, you see that sometimes, in fact, even most websites you use, sometimes you can be prompted to use a dark theme. Even our phones too, sometimes you can be prompted to use dark theme. So Power BI also gives us the ability to use any theme of our choice to represent the way you want your work to be. Sometimes you can choose to put your own color the way you want it so that you will not do too much color blocking. Then some other time you won't even need your own color. Maybe you work for an organization and their color is blue and white. You just know that you need to represent the brand well. Whatever you are doing is going to be that blue and white, the right shade of blue and the right font. So, but Power BI still gives you theme to use in case, and you can still even browse more and customize the way you want. Then this one's a page setup. Now this is okay when we come to look at our Canvas app. So like I told you, you have mobile layouts. They made it possible for us to customize. Here we have filters, which can help you to filter your data the way you want it. You have bookmark that can also help you to connect. It can serve as a connector from one page to the other. Yeah, they're looking foreign now because data is not assigned to it. So that we are running through so that by the time the lecture for other weeks tell you, okay, go to so and so tab, view tab, click on bookmark. Yeah, it won't be sounding strange to you. Then we have this optimization where you can do your refresh depending on where your data is coming from, and you can apply slicers to, you can use this apply all slicer button. It will help you and make your reports consistent and all that. So basically that is it. Then there are sometimes when you sign up and there are some other things you can come to file and do, options and setting. You can even DAS. It's not everyone that their DAS is customized, like enables them to use the Copilot in Power BI. So there are some other settings that we can come here and come and set. This is when we begin to go advanced. So I'm trying not to unleash plenty powers. It's not my fault. We are talking about Power BI, so the power just keeps coming my way. Okay, I think the power has become too much. Okay, please let me just close here. I wanted to show some other things we can do here. If you want to use Copilot, you can come here, come and do all the settings and all that. But it is well. All right, now there is should I say there is a front end and back end? Let me use that word because I think we will understand better with it. Now, if I have this place we are seeing, this very first place we are seeing, we are here at my extreme left. I'm at the very first icon immediately under your file. It's called report view. That is where we are currently. I think I should just add a data so that we can understand this better. I'll just add a dummy data. Sorry. Let me just add an Excel. I will still explain. I don't know what that thing is. I'll still explain. I'll still explain. Don't worry. I just really want us to understand. Okay, looks like messages are dropping, but okay, while it's loading, let me just while this is trying to work. It's not responding. Okay, I think I need to be patient. Okay, now the place you build your reports is called the report view, just as the name is, report view. So that is the place you, let me call it the front end. That is basically where everyone sees, or yeah, that is the place you should even show to people. That is the main place where, let's say you cook your food, the main thing people see. But aside that, there are other two views. So we have three views. This thing we are seeing like this is a view, and that view is called the report view. Let me just allow this thing to connect. I tried to import it. Let me just allow it to connect, and then I'll show you another view. So we have three views. We have the report view, we have the data view. Yeah, sorry, I think it's taking a bit of time. I don't normally use this system. I think I just, for the sake of this class, I had to. Yeah. So some things that are working behind. I'm going to send you, we're going to drop some data sets that we'll be using for this class, either in Excel format or CSV format, so that we'll begin to do some funny thing. You can just, before your next class, we'll drop them because you would be using it for the next class. Okay, like I said, this is the report view. And in this report view, you can have several pages. I'm on page 1. I can add a new page. Look at it. It is telling me to build my visuals with my data. So I can add a third page. So depending on the number of information you would want to share, it will be so nice for you to pack a whole lot of things on your first visual. When you have access to plenty pages, you can do as many pages as you want. And then these pages can be renamed. Maybe you're working on the sales. So your first page may be saying everything about the product. You can rename. You just right click and rename, and maybe just call that one product. Then the next page may be talking about maybe customers. Now this time you can rename and name it customers. The third page may be talking about, okay, once on this third page you want to focus on location, to talk about how the locations are performing. You can rename it. Now, at the end of your work, you should be able to connect them together. That if someone clicks on page 1 and sees everything, there should be a button or a bookmark, whatever thing you want to use to join them, to interact with them. The person should be able to land in maybe page 2 or page 3. Maybe in the custom from products page, the person should be able to come to customers page and should be able to come to location page. We'll cover that as we advance. So this is your report view. Now another view we have is the table view. Okay, now on your own, if you are opening with your device, you may not see all these columns. You may not also see this sales table. Remember, I just imputed a data set that had, I think, 66 rows. So that's why I'm able to have tables here. I'm able to have information here. So now this table view gives you a view, just as the name is view. It gives you a view of the table. You check the things in the table. Like, remember I told us that you can have quantity, you can have unit cost. So you may want to create maybe another new table that cannot be maybe that revenue. Look, I clicked on new table. That's why something is going to come up now for me. So yeah, it takes me to where we call the Power Query, where I can even begin to write something. I can write anything, and I can tell it the formula is quantity times the price. And before you know it, it will roll up a new table for me, or a new column for me. Okay, that one is column. Rather, we'll do that in our Power Query. So I just have one table here that comprises of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. So your table view, if you have more than a table, if you have, as you have sales, if you have customer, if you have products, or if you have anything you have, all the tables you have in your report, you come to this report view and you're able to see them and know every information about them. Now, this one is the model view. The model view is, it shows us the interconnectivity between the tables. Because I have only one table here, okay, let me go back. Let me see if I can. Let me just add one more table. Let me just add one more data. That one was, I think it was, let me, all you need store. Don't know if it's the one I added. I'm adding another data set and it's going to come like a table. I'll just choose one of it has, okay, this one has, okay. Remember when we first started, or when we were first looking at this, we just had only these sales. Now, because I added two tables, look at them here, they have come here. And if we come to our table view now, we'll be able to see others. Look at it now. We are able to see three of them now. Now, let's come to the model view. I'll just do some funny thing. I really hope that we'll just use it to explain. Now, here I have these three tables together. I have customer ID here, employee ID, manager ID, sales reps, so and all that. Okay, let me just give an instance. If you have a customer should have a location where the customer is, and the customer should have what he or she has bought, and also the customer should maybe the quantity or the revenue the customer has generated for that organization. Now, you can have different tables altogether, and in one particular table you have every information about the customer related to the customer, like the customer name, the customer location. So, and that customer should have an ID. Maybe if I go to Market Square, my number may be 001, for instance, and I go to Market Square. So in Market Square, they know me as 001, but they have a sheet where that just has only information about my name and my location. Now they have another sheet that has information about the things I bought, and then how much I generate, how much revenue I generated from the organization. But the what links that other table or that other sheet that they have is my name
Hey,
and my
Amarachi, are we
location.
going to get this data to practice with? Are we going to get
Yes,
this
you will get it.
class? All
Yes,
right,
you are going
thank
to
you.
get the data you will use. Yeah.
All right.
So the thing that now on the sheet that has information about just my name, my first name, my location, and then my customer ID 001. Another sheet, the information there is the quantity of things I have bought and how much I have generated for that Market Square. And then my ID will also be there, 001. So now when they want to find information about 001, they should be able to find my name and my full name and my customer list. But what joins that customer list and also joins the 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 product, the things I have bought, is that my 001. So there is what is this data model view is where I come and link it. I couldn't find anything to link here. That's why I tried to explain. But when we get the right data set, I'm just dumping in some of the access I have on my PC. So there's what they call connection. When you connect, then you see arrows. You see arrows joining them together. So these are like back end, like I said. So someone that is coming to your data set or viewing what you have done, the person does not see your back end. The person does not see your table view. What the person sees is this your report view where you play with your visuals. So now we have your visualizations, which are the main things that tell this story with Power BI. Now we are telling stories with data. So we have them in different formats, just as they are like this. We have them as stacked bar charts, we have column bar charts, we have clustered. Once you hover over any of them, you get their names. So depending on the analysis you want to build, you will now know the right tool to use. So I can just say, okay, I can just put in a donut. I can click on it. You can drag it. I'm being careful so that it doesn't slow down. I think It's not responding. May respond later as we go on. So here we have your visualization pan, PANE, that gives you every information about the kind of visualization to use. Sometimes you can have sometimes you may have some other visualizations that you don't have here. So if you have your login account, either your organizational account or the developer account I mentioned, you can click on get more visuals, you sign in, and then it will take you to all the visualization, all Power Microsoft applications and visuals, and then you see the ones you want to use. So it's not just using any visual, it's when you have understood your data and then you now want to represent them visually, you now know the right visuals to use, which we'll learn some other time. So this first one is where you build, while the second one is where you format. That enables you have your page formatting, you have like this is called a canvas. The way it is set, this size, if I want to reduce this size, I think I wanted to, okay, this is just 16. If you want to make it later size, look at it, it has changed. It has changed. So if you have if you can customize it, you can say you want the height to be this, you want the width to be that. So everything about your canvas, how you format it is here. If you want to even put a background pictures and all that, so you get them here, canvas background, wallpaper. If you want to filter, you get them here. Then this is your data. You can also close these things to see, to have more a view. You can open them and depending on the way you want to work. So this one shows your data. You can open them and you begin to see, okay, this is what I have. In case you want to do, let's say you want to compare sales over time. So you're going to be dealing with two columns. You have the sales table, you have the column that has time. So you can come here, it enables you just click on anyone you click on, that one follows you to the canvas and all that. So, and anyone that has this, let's call it summation symbol rather, you know that one has to do with figures. So that is what this offers. Then by the time you start analyzing and you have your visuals and you want to put filter, this filter pan enables you to do all that. Remember I said you can close them and you can also open them. Now, want to look at the available data that we have. Let me just come back to, let me use one of these. Okay, you saw me trying to import a data. Now, the whole of this family, I don't know if family is the word, the whole of this family under this home ribbon has to do with data. Telling that Power BI gives you access to several data. You can get your data set this way. You can get it from an Excel workbook. When you save your file, you should be able to know the extension it is, whether it's an Excel file or a CSV. You know, normal on your PC, if you open a CSV file, it opens with Microsoft Excel. Yeah, but when you're coming to import data in Power BI, you don't import your Excel, your CSV under the Excel family. There's a place for it. So you have, for those that have, like I said, that are advanced, that use, you hear about Microsoft Fabric, you hear people have, they do some things on, maybe the company data is saved on Azure, it's part of the storage cloud computing for that Microsoft has, and all that. So there are a lot of, if you are using an maybe a SQL server, maybe a Microsoft SQL or is it called Postgres? Postgres, just forget about it. So any of these places, you have access to data. So any data you want to bring in, you should be able to know where the data is coming from. And when you know that, it will enable you to connect it. So there are different kinds of connection. I don't know. You have the one you connect live. You have the one that you run queries and all that. So we are going to go quite basic. So this one lake is also coming from, I think, Fabric. not just Fabric, I think data warehouse. Now, some organizations, they have people that are data engineers, then they have the data analysts and data scientists. Why sometimes data scientists and data analysts can be one person. Some other place, data engineer and data analyst could be also one person. Sometimes the three roles, different people play the three roles. So we have people that have already, like the data engineers that have already gathered this data somewhere in a house, you can call it warehouse. So your own information, your own work is, let's say you have a warehouse that they sell children clothes, and yeah, they sell children clothes. Let's leave it that simple. And somebody wants only girls' clothes. So your work is to go into that warehouse and bring in those girls' clothes. You get? So that is it. Like an organization has a data house, a data lake. They store their data somewhere. So what they're interested in is they want to find out information about a particular thing. So yours is, if you're going to use Power BI, is for you to import that data into Power BI and then run your analysis on them and all that. So that's why we have different sources and all that. It's telling me recent sources because I just went to I just opened this data. So sometimes when you open your Power BI for the first time, you will see some of the icons under here. There's even a sample data set from that most people use, that Power BI also provided for us. Please, a few seconds, let me check the chat because, okay. Yeah, please, if you have a question, please raise hand. They said my voice was breaking. Please, is the voice back now? Is the voice back now? Can you use an emoji and let me know? Please, is the voice back now? Okay. Now we have I don't know if maybe because mine is quite recent, because my office I don't think I have this dash query, but this is my first time of seeing this view. Run dash queries on your model. Interesting. I didn't know about this. Okay. The thing with technology
Mara,
is that,
hello, Mara.
yeah, yes.
Can I jump in here? This
Okay, please
Jama.
do.
So
Okay.
why you are seeing that is strange is this update was just done last week. You know, Microsoft, they keep updating. So this is like a very
Yeah.
new stuff that they put in. So it's just a new thing. That's why it's kind of strange. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Because I know I just installed this, I think last week, Saturday or thereabouts. And this is going to be very beautiful. This is going to be very beautiful. Okay. So I think most people that downloaded their own after the class on Saturday, you should be able to see this too. All right. Thank you, Choma. Okay. The next thing is I want to talk about Power Query. I uploaded, or let me say I imported data set into this Power BI, but I did that, let me not use the word wrongly, but let me use the word wrongly. Let me do that again. My file is an Excel file. That's why I'm just coming in straight here. The file I want to import is an Excel file. Now I'm going to choose anyone, but I'm going to show you why I said that action I did was a wrong action, or I can say is an action of a novice. Actually, the first time I used Power BI, I was self-learning. I think that was what I did. Now, if you look down, there is nothing highlighted here except for cancel. I don't want to cancel it. Now there is a load and there is a transform. So now it is suggesting that I have these tables. I'm interested in just this sales table. Now you see that it has given me an overview of this sales table. And it is telling me that some places are empty. There are no information here. Null, 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 null. There are no information here. and all these places. So what I did, like I said, which made me say I did wrongly, was I loaded immediately. Now, best practice is that you should not just load your data like that. You should transform your data. By next week, you understand what transformation of data means and why you should do that. But it is best practice. Now, when you transform data, it's going to bring you to, it will open another, like call it window, another interface for you, that you now look at the data critically. And that is the beauty of, in fact, that is where you do most of, like call it you carry out some analytical process. You do data cleaning. Yes, in data analytics, we have several processes. Yes. Okay, let me just run through that because it's very important, so that we are not after the tool Power BI, but we are after solving problem and understanding why we are using Power BI. Now, the data analytic, let's say, parts, or let me use the word process, not parts. Data analytic process is one, you are expected to have a data. So it's either you are gathering the data or you are collecting the data, or maybe you're importing the data, but there is a data. Now, when you get this data, you don't just begin to use it. Let me give us a practical example. I like afang soup. If I want to cook afang soup, I won't just carry vegetable, the fritted pumpkin, ugu, we know, and water leaf. I just carry them like that and put inside pots. No. But when I go to market to buy ugu, maybe I'm using periwinkle, palm oil, onion, all those things, I have gathered data. Now, the next process is cleaning. I need to clean this data. I need to be sure that all these places that are empty, all that, it is the data cleaning process, so that someone at the end of the day, someone does not see a beautiful chart I have done. Someone will not see a beautiful soup you have cooked, and the person will just test it. It is sand. The person will just get pissed off. No matter how beautiful the plating, no matter even all the animals you put, the person can be funny enough to select all the animals, go and wash it and chew the animal, because there shall be no waste. But so there is a data cleaning. So you do your data cleaning in Power BI. Okay, I've cleaned this thing very well. Let me begin to cook the soup now. That is now when you now begin to visualize, use your, depending on the problem you want to solve or something, the story you want to tell. Then you now begin to say, okay, let me use a bar chart, let me use a chai and a clustered bar, let me use a pie, let me use the composition tree, let me use a key influencer and all that. So it is the kind of analysis you want to carry out that would determine the kind of chart you use. So it is the kind of food you are cooking afang soup that will tell you I'll use palm oil and not I'll use vegetable oil. You get. So this is it. So when you gather your data, you clean your data. Yes, then and first off, you understand the business problem. So because for us, we're going to give you a data set and we'll tell you about the data and tell you, okay, this data is maybe healthcare. So we want to find out what happened. We are describing. We're just describing what has happened because we have a data set that is given to us. But there are situations that you may be the one that will even dig out things or even allow the data to speak to you. So I think in course of our learning, we'll factor in these processes. So when you collect your data, you clean your data, then before you begin to maybe visualize and then begin to interpret and then begin to tell the story about them, begin to talk about the problems you encountered or the solutions that, or the things you found with your data and what you recommend. So back to the soup. It is when you are finished cooking it is in the pot, and you now go and say, okay, let me use this fine plate and put the soup. Let me make the eba. Let me roll it like this. And then you now begin, maybe when you want to serve the person, you now say, oh, this soup is from this this tribe, it is done by this, it is done by this. And when the person is hearing you talking about the soup, and the person has seen the plate of soup, the way you packaged it and plated it and organized it, and then as you're talking, the person is nodding here and the person has tested one spoon, and then it's very sweet, everything, the pepper, the salt, the maggi, they all came together with a perfect blending. Then you cannot beat your chest and say, I cooked. So always see your data process or your data analytical project or any data analysis you want to carry out like you are cooking. Yes, if it's not soup, it's even rice, the same thing. There's no food that you cook that you not prepare. If it's stew, you blend tomato and all that. So now let's leave the food. Maybe I'm hungry. It's past 7. We'll soon go and eat. So like I said, I won't load this data. I will transform it. If I come to transform, it will take me to my Power Query. I think should please open. Okay, yeah. So I've come to my Power Query editor. So your let's say your love or your passion for Power Query editor, in fact, it will go a long way to help you in your analytical program. So here may look a little bit, let me open it up. Like I said, it's another window. If you check, I have 2 windows. I have the main one where we came out from, and then I have the Power Query 2 editor rather. Now it's looking like plenty movies are here. We have this column, we have this column 2, we have column 3, we have column 4, we have column 5. I think it's simple to use to explain. Now you may want to, okay, this is salesperson, this is north, this is east, this is south, this is west. Normally it should tell you that this salesperson is supposed to be the name of the column. This north is supposed to be the name of the column, not column 2. This east is supposed to be the column. So what we are going to do here is washing of vegetable. What we are going to do here is slicing of vegetable. It is when we have finished everything here, we'll now come and save, close, and then it will now apply. And once it does this application, like if you click apply, it will now apply every step, everything you have done here, and now load in your data. Remember I said that this is the best practice. So don't just load your data. I just loaded that time so that I'll be able to show us the table view and then the data view and the model view rather. So here we have this place with the core queries. You can open them. These are, remember that we have plenty, this thing I put here. Plenty, I opened to I imported to Excel sheets. So we have, it's showing us all these things we have here, and then here you're able to look at them very well, very well. So okay, this Texas, I don't like the way this Texas is written. I want it in capital letter. This is where you come and do the work. This is where you really do, this is the, well, I call it the Ogak Patapata. So let me just run us through, just as in your normal Microsoft Power BI, the desktop, that you see all these family under the tabs and ribbon. That is the same way you also have it in Power Query. So new source, maybe you want to add new data. You have checked everything you have done here, and you have another data. You can come here, new query under the new query family. And data source settings, honestly, I have not used this before, but as we advance in using the tool, we'll learn more things. So if there are columns, maybe you want to delete, let's say column 2, I want to delete this column. I can just click on it, right click and remove it. I can duplicate it. I can change the type. Okay, like talking about changing of type. Any column, all these columns, we have headings, and data is supposed to have a particular type. Let me give an instance. You're working in Microsoft Office, and sorry, Microsoft Excel, and you put 28.00. I wish I can open that. Okay, let's just leave that. Now, person, salesperson, it shows you that is name of somebody. So you have James, you have Tim, you have Mark, although you have some things following them, some numbers following them, but it is expected that this the type of data this is should not be numbers, because it is James. It's supposed to be a text, so that's why it has ABC. It has ABC as text. Now this one that is column, this column 2 that is supposed to be not. I'm not going to do the data cleaning, but I'm trying to explain what data cleaning and what the Power Query and the interface is all about. So this one, you can decide to change it. Changing it is because you know the data you're working with and you know what is expected of it. Maybe it came from Excel, and in the Excel, you didn't really check the data type to be sure. In fact, even if you checked, immediately it enters the next tool, being Power BI. No matter where the data is coming from, even if it's not Excel, immediately it comes into Power BI. You should be sure that your data type is correct. So if it's not correct, this is the place you come to change it. If you want to make it a whole number, I'll put it 1, 2, 3. Everything here can become, okay, let me see if I can do decimal and see what it will look like. Change column type. Now, if you look at my left hand side, I have where it's called applied steps. So what it has done, it has captured these 3. It has told me that, okay, I have gotten a data from the source. I have navigated to this place, and then this promoted heading, these columns, it is what it gave these columns as heading. If I do replace current, it's going to, you are going to, under change type, it will come under here. So all the steps you did in this Power Query is going to list them under here, and at the end of the day, you save them, you close and apply. If you are comfortable, anyone you are not comfortable with, you can just remove it and it will go. It has changed back that this test I did. Look at it. This one is now ABC 1, 2, 3. I can make it back to only test. Immediately I did only test. Look at it. Change type. It has come back. If I close it, you see that this one will go back. So basically, this is where we come to cook our food. So you may want to keep some rows that just any having understanding of what you may want to sort, ascending, descending. This is where you come to see it. If you want to split a column, like this column, you want to split James from these numbers, I think this can help us. If you want to use this first row like this as header, this place can help us. If you want to replace value, so you transform your data depending on the need of your data. This is where you come to do your work, and after doing it here, you save the data automatically. Everything you've done, we work together and come to the front view, like I called that report view as a front view, where you now do all your beautification and all that. So this place is more of test analytics. This one is for AI, and you need some settings both from your back end and accounts to be able to use some of these features like this AI Insight. I'm sure about that. So this is just the home. We have the transform, where you may want to reverse a row, and then you want to dictate data type. You want to, there's what is known as pivot and unpivot, especially when you have data you collected from the website and all that. We want to carry out some statistical function. So the beauty of the sweetness is having an understanding of this place and the usage of it. Once you understand this place and use it, it's going to help you. But that does not mean that if maybe you have done, okay, let's just finish. I hope I won't forget what I wanted to say. Okay, let me just say it. Even if you have started building your report on this place already, and you notice that there is something you are supposed to do, you can come to this query. Under this query, once you click on this transform query back again, but best practice is that you transform your data first before you load it. So, but even if you loaded it or you finish transforming and then you want to go back to do some 1 or 2 things on the query, it is possible. Now, most Power Platform tools, I'll call them low code, LOW, low code. You don't basically write so much, but at some points you write some code, just as we have DAX, data analytics expression, that will require you to write something like maybe revenue equal to cost times sales. I don't know why I'm just talking about this revenue. So those ones are small, but if you check up, you see there is a formula, table dot transform column type, promoted header, blah, blah, blah. Now, these are small code, but you are not the one writing it. You don't need to bother yourself. What is just telling us that this is what we did here, the promoted header here. So that is just the information here. Sometimes some people that have become so, in fact, when I saw, there was a time I saw a video and the person needed to change data type. Instead of just coming here to maybe just change the data type, the person came to this type, this place, and instead of text, the person replaced it with a number. So some people, they still like to code, while some other people, they just prefer, let them just be clicking. So just like your drag and drop. So basically, I didn't do anything here, but notwithstanding, let's say we did lots of things here, because I don't want us to go, this is the first day, I don't want us to go into the data cleaning and all that, and we've not chosen the data set we'll work with, so that some people don't start crying already. So, but let's just say we did something here. You come to this close and apply. Click on the, why I like to click on this, be sure, let me just explain these three things now for us. If you click close, it will just close this Power Query editor without doing anything to your data. That means everything you did here, you wasted your time. If you did apply, it will apply them, but it will still be here. But if you do close and apply, it will apply every information. It will close the entire Power Query editor, and it will now bring you back to your Power Visual, the reports view, where you can now begin to do what you want to do. So let me close and apply, and then I've already uploaded this. Now it is telling me that there are pending changes in my queries that has not been applied. Yes, that's because we came from the Power Query. So in as much as I have closed it and applied, it will apply. But sometimes when you see something like this, you can click on that apply changes and it will apply. So it has finished applying changes. I don't think it's this particular one. I think we had two. Okay, it's this one that I named some of the columns. So if we come to your data here, you see all your data, all the data information. Remember the last time I was showing us this, we just had these three tables here. Just had these three tables. This third table, which is the same with these cells, is just this one that I just put to use and show us. So basically, this is where we'll be cooking our food. This is our kitchen, and we are going to give us the foodstuffs that we would use to start cooking our food. So that is that. I don't know if we have any questions. I don't know if we have. Let me check the chat. Very soon. Who is crying? Abayomi, why are you crying? If you would like to speak, you can raise your hand.
That is why they are working, they don't want you to press them for them.
I'm trying to look for questions. I don't know if someone has asked that, and I don't know if someone is raising their hand.
But there's a question in the chat talking about, can you talk about the mobile service as your network was breaking then? And then there's one hand up. So maybe we can take Njideka's question too, then you can answer the two together. Njideka, please go ahead with your question.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and thanks so much for this session. So my question is not technical. My question is just to know how many hours are we expected to spend every Saturday here? And also, do we have like a schedule, like topics that we will be dealing on every Saturday, so that some of us that wants to read up before coming can do that as well? Thank you.
Okay, the class is 1 hour 30 minutes, but you know that sometimes there could be, like today we started, I started 17 minutes late. Number one, apologies for that. I know sometimes too the class can be so interesting that you may want to just a little bit above 1 hour 30 minutes is for our own good, but 1 hour 30 minutes is the ideal time. Then we already have this schedule. We'll check the Discord channel. I hope we are all there, so that we'll drop it on the Discord channel. If it's not there, I will check it. If it's not there, we'll drop it so that you know what is ahead of you each week. Every other communication with respect to even the data sets, project and all that will be communicated to us on the Discord. Then the person that talked about mobile service, I was saying you can have Microsoft Power BI. Sorry, I think fan is okay. Apologies, please. A second, please. Someone did something that is causing a noise on my background. I was saying that you can have Power BI on your phone. If you already have a report, maybe published on service, or someone sent you a report or a dashboard, just as you have normal applications on your phone, you have Jumia, you have your bank application. It's the same way you can have Power BI on your phone. But the thing is, having it now on your phone is if it's what you use regularly, maybe even organization wise, you use Power BI for a lot of things. So you can build your reports on service, and then anybody anywhere with that, even the person is not close to the laptop or system, maybe your manager, and you send the report to your manager, or send the maybe as a link on your service and all that, the person should be able to, with a click, see everything real time, see everything that is happening through the person's mobile. So sometimes too, when you're building your reports on Power BI desktop or even Power BI service, you also build it in a way that you optimize it for mobile view. Yeah, I don't know if I'm clear on that. I think who asked that question? Esther. I think she's offline now. Okay. Yes, the recording will be shared. The recording will be shared. I'm reading your questions. Yes, you will get the materials. Attendance. Yes, attendance is pinned in the meeting chat. Yeah, okay, it's been dropped. Please, please, please. Apologies for those that have gone. Please, there is a link that has been shared. Check the chat. It was shared by, I think, Franca. It's also pinned in the chat. But please fill your attendance. Yes, beginner, fear that not. We are holding your hands. What you owe yourself is any information that is dropped, you read and practice. Practice is the key. If you don't practice, you're going to forget everything. It's like someone that is learning how to drive. After a long while, if you don't drive, you start it will become foreign to you until you go back to it again. So we don't talk, we practice. How to get this page? No, this page is just your if you installed your Power BI desktop, you just need to open it. Once you open it, you open a blank report and you will get to this page. But again, do we still have? Okay, I'm reading. Our YouTube channel has also been posted on the chat. Learning materials, beautiful. Learning resources has been shared. Yes. So please consume the learning resources. It can even guide you in case you are preparing for Microsoft Data Analytics certificate exam. Thank you so much, Lara. Thank you so much.
There's one hand up. Jane's hand is up.
Jane. Okay, Jane Obonna, please.
That's the last question we'll take today.
Okay, thank you very much. Talking about the Microsoft certification exam, are we going to be getting a voucher, a free voucher to do that? However, I also want to find out what exactly is the difference, or because I've been hearing you mention desktop Power BI. Are there other Power BIs, and what is the difference?
Okay, Power BI offers three, let me say, application mode. One as a desktop, which is this one you downloaded that is on your desktop. The second one as a service. Service, you need an account to sign. You sign up with an account. Now, for those of us not working in organizations, that is what is known as a developer account that we create from Microsoft. I don't know whether it's still available, but once you create, it's got a developer account. It's no longer available for Nigeria. I don't know what Nigerians do. Apologies for using our language. So before I had one, it gives you access to test run. Use it. So, but if you don't, like, as we can't use it now, if you work in an organization, just as every organization, okay, just as most organization uses the Microsoft Office 365. So you're going to be registered with your Office domain. Let's say the name of your domain is, the name of your organization is Textiler. So that's your email address, that is jane@textiler.com. If they bought an access for Power BI, maybe you use Power BI in your organization and you use it like steadily, they bought the access for it because it's not free, you get, just as they buy Office 365 license, and they bought the license for it. So if you build your report on Power BI desktop, maybe with your laptop in your office, you can sign in with that, your jane@textilers.com, and publish. When you publish or when you share, you can share it with anyone within your organization. Then they can also publish within your organization. You can also do another publish that can be, like, say, worldwide. So everything is depending on the kind of license your organization has. And remember that even if you are publishing worldwide is not that safe. There has to be some data privacy. So if you are in an organization that they do analysis or analytics and they send it in general public, fine, no problem. They will be the one, there is data governance in every organization. Let me just say that there is data governance. So they have a limit of what you share and how you share. So that is Power BI service. The service is in a way that you don't need to send your Power BI file to your manager. You just send, it's published on the service. Your manager can just log in and see everything you've done. Then the third one I mentioned is the application that I just explained that you can have on your phone. Yeah, on the learning resources, you are going to is there. You get, if you even get a graphical view and understanding of that. So Jane, I guess I have answered your question. Emmanuel, I have.
But I asked another one. You didn't attend to it.
Oh, sorry. Please remind me. I missed it. Okay, voucher. I don't think we will.
Amarachi, let me take that question. I know. So this is it. Like Amarachi said, we cannot guarantee that we would give vouchers to everybody, but I think the commitment that the executive made during the onboarding session, if you were on the onboarding session last week, is that for those who have 100% attendance, we would make efforts to get, even if it's like a 50% discount for you on the vouchers. However, again, there are no guarantees. Also, somebody's asking, how do I get the learning resource materials? Please check on the chat. I dropped a link a while ago to Microsoft Learn. Microsoft Learn is, I always say, it's like a gold mine. It's like a whole university on its own. You would find resources that would cover every single thing that we teach in this class and even more. So please follow that link and make use of it. Thank you. Back to you, Amarachi.
Okay, so Olaika, I'm sorry to still cut in. Is there a way? I'm requested anyway. Is there a way? I believe the organization has the license E5. Is there a way we can just create users for us and give us license to our platform?
Yeah. So because we are, we are not exactly an organization. We are a Microsoft community, right? So, and we are a non-government, non-profit. So it's going to cost money for us to also try to get E5 licenses for people. So that's why we also may not be able to guarantee you that. However, I think what I'm going to do for the sake of everyone is I'm going to check the possibility of still using Microsoft developer accounts just to practice Power BI service. However, let me also add that you don't also have to get worked up about having a Microsoft account to practice in service, because I promise you, especially as a beginner, you can do everything. You can do 80% of everything that you have to do in Power BI Desktop, because Power BI Desktop is actually where you do the actual building of your Power BI reports. You use Power BI service when it comes to you want to collaborate, you want to share your reports with people, you want to, a lot of things that have to do with collaboration. But the actual work of building your report happens in Power BI Desktop. And you really do, in fact, not really, you don't need to have that account to be able to use Power BI Desktop. You can do everything that you need to do. When you need the account is when you want to publish it to the service. So even if you cannot get it, you will still be able to learn up to 80% of, or even more than 80% of everything that you need to know. I hope that gives us some comfort.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, I see Madam Ellie's hand up.
Yeah,
President
good evening,
Mark.
everyone. Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining this session. It's amazing. We had over 80 people join earlier when we started. Thank you so much, our facilitator. At this point, I think I would like us to even appreciate the efforts of the facilitator and the entire community. This is a non-profit, and we're trying as much as possible to bring in as many women, because our vision, we've realized that there's a low representation of women in tech. So please do appreciate the community for giving this training free. This is training that we take for thousands of dollars. So if we have to start asking for free voucher, that would probably like over $200 for the exam, asking for this and that, that's coming from the pocket of executive and every other person. And like Jane, yeah, you're laughing. So please also have mercy on us. Like I said on during the onboarding, we're looking at outstanding projects, outstanding students, dedicated students that we would try as much as possible to give, significant discounts on their exams and vouchers. But again, I'll also encourage each and every one of us that the learning doesn't stop after 6 weeks. Do a lot of research. IT is continuous learning. Go online and get lots and lots of resources. If you're asking for free account here, and you use it for a couple of weeks after the exam, or sorry, after the training, you find out that the passion is not there, or like something that you pay out of pocket and acquire, you won't want to waste it. You would always want to put in so much to learn more and more. So having said that, please bear with us as much as we can give. Just know it's a sacrificial giving, that we're offering, and we really, really appreciate you guys. We're super, super excited. We're hoping that at the end of this all, you guys would launch into your Power BI career, both local and international. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. In addition to the person that was talking about for us creating accounts for them, remember that we are even supposed to worry so much for those in the Power Apps class, because there's no place they can practice if it's not on the Power platform. But for us, we have desktop, and it's a beautiful thing that more than 80%, in fact, 99% of everything you're going to do, your desktop is let me use our Nigerian word, the ogakpatapata of them all. So I'm sharing the resources, which I just from the charts that Yinka sent, I've opened it, that is here. So everything you need to learn, it's here. You dig it deep, especially if you are starting up. You start with so much passion and don't stop. It's lifelong learning, and daily, weekly things unfold. Emmanuel, your hand is raised. I think I had called you once after you just close for today. Please pardon me. You can use the chat. Only Emmanuel that I'm permitting, so that he's the only guy that. Please go ahead.
Hello, if you can hear me. I'm just requesting that the links posted on the chat, if you could paste them in the Discord group. My chat, for instance, is having issues. I'm not able to see any of the chats. So if you could kindly paste the links in the Discord group, I'll be really grateful. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's a good night on my part. Thank you for joining.